There's a moment in caregiving that hits you quietly. The moment you realize the person you love is depending on you in a way they never have before. And you feel something shift inside you. Not because you're ready, but because love has changed. But here's the part that nobody talks about. When love changes like that, you change too. And suddenly you're carrying responsibilities, emotions, and decisions you never trained for. It can feel overwhelming, lonely, and invisible. So in this episode, I want to walk with you through that shift. The moment love changes, the decisions no one sees, the weight you carry alone, and the love that outlives the loss. And by the end of this episode, I hope you feel less alone and more understood than you have in a long time. Thank you for joining me on Faith Between the Lines. I'm Scott. Caregiving begins in a moment so small you almost miss it. It's the moment you reach out to steady their hand because you notice it's trembling. The moment you walk a little slower beside them without even thinking about it. The moment you start listening and not just to their words, but to the pauses between them. And then slowly you start beginning doing things they once did without effort. You help them button a shirt. You remind them of something they used to remember easily. You watch their steps to make sure they're safe. And you feel something shift inside you. Not a dramatic shift, a quiet one. A shift that says, I'm stepping into a new kind of love. It's a love that asks you to be patient in ways that you never practiced. A love that asks you to be strong in ways you never expected. A love that asks you to hold your own emotions while carrying for theirs. There's also a kind of a grief in that shift. It's a small private grief, but it's the way that things used to be. For the version of them that you remember. For the version of you that you didn't have to carry so much. But there's also something sacred in that also. Because this new kind of love, this caregiving love, is one of the purest forms of love a human being can offer. It's love that shows up. Love that stays. Love that bends without breaking. This is the moment when love changes shape, and once it does, you change with it. Caregivers live in a world built on quiet decisions. You decide how to speak, so they don't feel embarrassed. You decide how to help without making them feel helpless. You decide how to guide without taking away their dignity. You decide when to step in and when to step back. You decide how to keep the peace when emotions run high. You decide how to stay calm when you feel anything but calm. And these decisions happen every hour, every day. You decide how to arrange the house so it feels safe. You decide how to adjust your schedule so you can be there. You decide how to carry your own stress so it doesn't spill onto them. And the hardest part of this, no one sees these decisions. No one sees the mental load. No one sees the emotional calculations you make constantly. No one sees the way that you rehearse your words before you speak them because you want to protect their heart. These decisions don't get applause. They don't get recognition. They don't get written into the story, but they matter. They matter deeply. They matter every single day because even the quiet decisions you make is an act of love. It keeps someone else's world from falling apart. Even though no one sees it, you feel it, you carry it, you live it. There's a weight caregivers carry that almost no one understands. It's not the physical tasks, it's the emotional load that settles into your chest and stays there. It's the weight of being the one who has to stay steady even when you feel overwhelmed. It's the weight of being the one who has to make the hard choices because no one else will. It's the weight of being the one who keeps going even when you're exhausted in ways that you can't explain. You carry the fear of what might happen next. You carry the guilt of wondering if you're doing enough. You carry the sadness of watching someone you love change in ways that you can't control. And you carry it quietly, you carry it privately, and you carry it because you love them. You don't want to burden anyone. You don't want to complain. You don't want to make it about you. So you hold it, you absorb it, and you keep moving. But that doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you're loving. It means you're human. It means that you're giving more than anyone ever will truly see. And sometimes you just need someone to say, I know this is heavy. I know you're carrying more than you let on, and I see you. Caregiving is a kind of love that doesn't end when the journey ends, even after the final goodbye. The love you poured out doesn't just disappear. It lingers in the quiet moments, like in the way that you fold a blanket in the way that they liked it, in the way that they pause when you pass by their favorite chair, in the way that certain songs still make your chest tighten because they carry so many memories that you didn't know were still alive. You don't stop being a caregiver just because the caregiving ends. Your heart doesn't just switch off. Your instincts don't just fade. Your love doesn't evaporate. It becomes part of you. It shapes how you see the world. It deepens your compassion. It softens your edges. And it strengthens your spirit all at the same time. You learn that love is not measured in how long it lasts, but how deeply it changed you. And caregiving love, the love that shows up, the love that stays, and the love that sacrifices, that love outlives the loss. It becomes a legacy written into your heart, a legacy that no one can take from you, a legacy that stays, and a legacy that says, I love someone with everything I had. And that kind of love, it never dies. I wrote a poem for this episode for the caregivers out there that are listening. The name of this poem is called A Caregiver's Heart. To the heart that beats in silent rooms, where love is labor and courage blooms. To the hands that hold through endless night, bearing burdens out of sight. You carry love that no one can see, a sacred strength, a quiet decree. God sees the work within your soul, the endless giving that makes you whole. In every tear, in every prayer, in every moment you chose to care. Know this truth, so deep, so true, the light of heaven shines in you. For love like yours, so fierce, so bright, transforms the darkness into light. You are seen, you are known. In God's heart you have a home. Rest now, dear soul, in gentle grace, held forever in a holy place. Your work is love, your love is art, a masterpiece within the caregiver's heart. This poem in this episode is not about me. It's about you. The caregivers who walk through the hardest parts of love with grace, courage, and compassion. If no one has told you lately, thank you. Thank you for the love you gave. Thank you for the strength that you didn't know you had. And thank you for being quite the hero in someone's final chapter. You matter. You still matter. And the love that you gave will echo long after the pain fades. If you're listening to this, and you're in the thick of it, or if you've walked this road before, This blessing is for you. May you feel seen in the places you've been invisible. May you feel held in the moments you've had to be strong. May you feel grace in the spaces where you feel empty. May you remember that your exhaustion is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of love. And may you find moments of rest that remind you you're still human. May you find moments of peace that remind you you're still worthy. May you find moments of joy that remind you your heart is still alive. And may you never forget that the love you give is never wasted, it was never unnoticed, and it will never be forgotten. I would like to close this episode by simply saying this. To every caregiver listening, you are doing sacred work. You are loving in ways that most people will never understand. And even on the days that you feel unseen, you're not forgotten. You are not alone, and you are more than enough. I want to thank you for joining me on Faith Between the Lines, and I hope I met you right where you are. Your questions and comments are always welcome here. And may you always remember this, that you are never, never walking alone.